Oculus Go. This is the latest VR headset from Facebook, the company that brought you the original Oculus. But what makes this one so interesting is that it's almost like AirPods for your face. It is the first truly independent consumer-level VR headset. And that means you don't need a computer, you don't need a smartphone, all you need is what's in this little box. So for a couple $100, depending if you go for 32 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes, you get everything that is in this actually really attractive, really nicely packaged box. It is almost an Apple-esque experience. You have the box within the box, and that contains your AC adapter, remote lanyard, your USB Type-A to micro USB. God, there's so many kinds of USB cable. And your usual assortment of legalese, tools, tips, tricks, I don't know, playing cards, whatever. You have the Oculus remote, which is really nicely designed. It has a touch area, for anybody familiar with the Siri remote, a trigger, which I kind of wish was on the Siri remote, a back button, and an Oculus button. You even get an insert, a spacer for glasses, if that's how you want to set it up. And then you have the headset itself. So again, this is standalone without the need for Matrix-style wires screwed into your head or a smartphone MacGyvered into the visor. You get everything you need for 3-axis VR. On the top, you have the power button. You have the volume rocker. On the side, you have the micro USB charging port and the 3.5mm headphone jack. That's because while it does have audio projection built in, that actually sounds really good. If you're in a public place or if you're on an airplane or you just want a more private experience, you can plug those headphones right in. Instead of OLED, you have fast switch LCD displays. So the result is it has a higher effective resolution than just the pixel count would lead you to believe. And it also substantially reduces the quote-unquote screen door effect, so it gives you a better overall experience. You can see out through the bottom of your nose, but I actually like that because I can check Apple Watch notifications. So let's take a look at Stranger Things. I'm gonna go in through this interdimensional maw. Now, because you only have 3 axes here, and that means I can turn side to side and look up and down, but I can't go back and forth. It's more of a consumption experience than an active experience. It is very Stranger Things. I'm Canadian, so I just think this ash is snow. Not that scary at all. And this is what all of us typically look like by January or February. I assume we just froze waiting for a bus or something. Dude, I'm so sorry. I should get the transport system fixed. Oh. Anyway, so that's the sort of experience I'm finding so far. Is it on the Vive? I really like things like the lightsaber duels and the things that made you feel like you were getting a workout. This is more entertainment. It's more lean back, feet up, and not stand up, move around. But you know, I'm okay with that because again, there are no strings to hold me down.
There are no strings on me.
So I really like some of these. They're relaxing, they're nice looking, but they start off kind of empty sometimes, and then I'm just bored. Where are my turtles at? Anybody know where my turtles are at? All right, let's try something else. Great white shark, jaws, eyes, black as coal. I'm teleporting, I'm using the mitochondrial network. I'm being taken to a different dimensional ocean. Oh, and there it is, right away. Great white shark. I think I'm gonna need a bigger VR. So now it's all calm and relaxing. I'm just in underwater jail. Oh, that actually snuck up on me. Must be lunchtime. All right, I'm gonna try one last thing. And anybody who knows me knows exactly what this is gonna be. So again, there's no sort of back and forth, and I don't have the 3D experience. I mean, maybe I'm holding it wrong. I don't have the 3D experience that I have when I paint on the Vive, but it does sort of work. So I have to admit, I'm liking this a lot more than I thought I would. It's actually really fun, and the freedom you get from not having the wires is really like the freedom you get from wearing AirPods. It's hard to describe until you experience it, but not having the wires to hold you down, to tether you, to pull on you, you feel freer. Even though you're not freer because you can't really walk around, you can walk around, it doesn't care if you walk around. but just not having to worry about it. Like, you do still feel the weight definitely on your face, and there's no sort of counterbalance to it, but there's also nothing dragging or pulling on you, nothing getting caught around your feet, nothing restricting you, and that is a pretty cool feeling. Sorry, fish. I mean, I do have some concerns, I do have some reservations. This is literally Facebook for your face, and when they first bought Oculus, my thought was, oh, if I'm in the Facebook app, I can close the app. If I'm on the Facebook website, I can close the tab. But if I have Facebook on my face, it's much harder for me to get out and much easier for them to control everything that I see and hear. But I didn't have to log in with my Facebook credentials. I set up a completely separate login, or at least I used the one that I originally set up when I bought the original Oculus. I kept using that. My purchases are going through that. So I don't know what kind of data Facebook is collecting on me. Maybe none. I'd be super happy if it was none. But I do have that trepidation now in the wake of Cambridge Analytica. We're still absolutely in the early days. This is a step up from the smartphone as a visor. It's its own thing, but it sort of presages, I think, where we're going to be going with this. And that includes the rumor, well, probably more than a rumor, about Apple's special project group working on their own AR and VR products. And I think it's a mistake to just call them AR, VR products. I think eventually AR and VR will be just like displays. We don't call an iPhone or an iPad a display product. They're phones, they're tablets, and I think AR and VR will just be part of that, and they'll be built into things that make sense. Like maybe one day my commuter bus won't be the same boring interchange that I see every day, but it'll be Jurassic Park one day and Mars the next day. And maybe the sunglasses that I wear, tastefully made by Johnny Ive and Mark Newsom, will just have the ability to either overlay graphics on the real world or take me into a virtual world when and if I want them to. And that's sort of where I think we're going with all of this. You know, and I'm not an expert on VR. If I want to learn more about it, I know exactly where to go though. There are classes for everything on Skillshare, including, of course, VR. And because Skillshare is sponsoring this show, I can go to www.skillshare.com/vector3 and I can get all you can learn unlimited classes for free, for absolutely free, for 2 months. Thank you so much, Skillshare. So anyway, that's what I think. Have you got an Oculus Go? Are you thinking about getting an Oculus Go? Let me know in the comments, at Rene Ritchie on Twitter. Meanwhile, hit like, hit subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Pew pew, pew 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 pew, vroom, vroom 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 vroom, pew 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 pew. Ah, man.
There are no stings on me.